morning, everyone. Welcome to the French berceau of America, also known as Quebec City. With more than 400 years of history and culture, this beautiful city has countless attractions and activities for all. Whether you're looking for an outdoor, culinary, educational, historical, cultural experience, Quebec City is the destination for you. Today, you'll have the opportunity to discover the Saint-Jean area. Jeff, Catherine and I have the pleasure to welcome you and can't wait to show you what our city has to offer. Now, let's get started and explore the unique Quebec City. Alright, follow me to our first stop. This is the folklore staircase. Just a quick question. How many steps do you think that this beautiful staircase has? Just by looking at it. The answer is 99 steps. This staircase was first built by wood in 1859. Then it was rebuilt in steel in 1889. The structure was designed by the very famous Charles Baillarger in 1888. Now, let's go see this 3-level staircase from the top. This is the first level of the staircase. An interesting fact is that this staircase, in steel of course, cost $1,486 to build. At the time, this seemed like preposterous amounts. Not only is this staircase a beautiful structural piece of art for Quebec City, but it also has a beautiful, breathtaking view of the Quartier Saint-Roch, most especially the Saint-Roch Garden. It cost $6 million to restore this area, and more specifically, the Saint-Roch Garden.
Hi, and welcome to our second stop. Here is the Tower Martello number 4. This tower was built to protect the Army British against the American Army during the War of 1812. This tower is a solid defense system. The walls are built between 6 and 11 feet of thick, and the thickest side is to the south. The Martello Tower construction was finished in 1812. It took 4 years to build these towers. When we visit the Martello Tower, we can admire this ingenious defense system from the outside. We see the strategic place the British choose, not far from a cliff, and at the same time you have the chance to admire this beautiful district of Saint-Jean-Baptiste. This monument represents an important part of the history when the British took the city. Today, this tower is not the most used as a tourist attraction, but if we compare with the two others, it's a future project of the city to restore the tower and make it more touristic. If you want to see more aspects of the Martello Tower, you can visit the Martello Tower number 1, now used as a museum. Hi, welcome to the Saint-Jean-Baptiste Church. It's time to admire this beautiful church because it will close on May 24th due to the economic situation of the church. It's important to note that the Saint-Jean-Baptiste Church is considered as a historic monument for Quebec City. It was built in 1847 by the architect Charles Baillarger. The family Baillarger is renowned for its many different work in the city and in France. In 1881, the church was destroyed by a big fire, and it was rebuilt in 1891, 10 years after the accident. During your visit, you'll have the chance to admire this piece of art from the Second Empire style. This style was inspired by the Baroque and the Renaissance style. This style is characterized by the fully of details in the aisles of the church. twice many different people, like architects, painter, sculptor, and designer living in Quebec, built it. Today, it's used as a historical place where people can assist at the mass and exchange with each other. The church, inside the church, you can admire the varieties of art, the statue and their impressive organ style, designed by the brothers Casavant.
So, I group, now we are here at the St. Matthew's Church. Initially, there was a cemetery where the Protestants were buried, but at this time the cemetery is divided in two. So one side was for the members of the Anglican Church, for the Anglican system, and the other side for the member of Scotland churches, so a Presbyterian system. In 1822, masses were given in a small house located on the cemetery grounds. These were important celebrations where Anglicans could worship in English. But in the church was destroyed after a fire, and the chapel was rebuilt with an English Gothic architectural style, as we can see here. In 1979, the St. Matthew's Churches was converted into a public library, but still retains many original artifacts. As for the Protestant cemetery, it was closed in 1860 because it was a nuisance to the city. The cemetery was located in the center of a large population, and at this time, land was highly in demand. In 1978, the cemetery and the church were classified as an historical monument of Quebec City. So let's go, group. Let's follow me. So now, Catherine is going to talk about the St. Matthew's Cemetery.
All right, group, you can follow me now. So, welcome to the St. Matthew's Cemetery, a very important place for the British and English heritage of Quebec City. Quick question, how old do you think this cemetery is? You don't know? 100? No, more. 150? More. It is 244 years old this year. So that makes it the oldest cemetery in Quebec City's urban areas. Something very interesting about the St. Matthew's Cemetery is there is an estimated burial of 6,000 to 10,000 people buried in this cemetery. But what is more interesting is that there is only 314 tombstones. And again, yes, like I said before, only reserved to the Protestant believers.
So welcome to the Convent of Sister of Charities of Quebec.
Recommence.
The community of the Sister of Charity of Quebec was founded in 1849 by Marcel Mallette, a religious community of the Charity Sister of Montreal, itself found in 1737 by Marguerite Duville. To take care of an orphanage in Quebec, the Charity Sister of Montreal sent Mallette, mother, with 5 other nuns here in Quebec to help Marcel Mallette. So in addition to the orphan, the Charity Sister of Quebec cared for the poor, the elderly, disadvantaged children, the sick and the infirm. The community was officially consecrated by Pope in 1866. From the beginning, the Charity Sister of Quebec through difficulty events, including several epidemics. They founded in 1898 until 1899 the Saint Louis de Gonzague boarding school for boys. In 1902, they also take possession of the old Jeffrey L. Hospital, becomes the modern Mallet Convent. Today, the Charity Sisters of Quebec continue their charity, but they are also in United States, Japan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina, and Congo.
The theatre capital of Quebec is one of the most important cultural heritage of the city. It hosted many types of arts like music, theatre pieces, and humor show. This monument is very useful. It is a reputed restaurant, an impressive room of theatre, and also a small hotel of 40 rooms. The capital is very important for the tourism industry of Quebec. It attracts a lot of people during music show, for its architecture and other services. Now, artists and humorists of Quebec are the mainly users of the capital. This monument is a winner of several prizes. Here we talk about the Felix, the History Theatre Preservation Award given for its awesome architectural preservation. The capital is located in a popular place of Old Quebec. Not far from this monument, you have the fortification in my back, the Palais Montcalm, and also our next stop, the Saint Jean Gate. So this is the capital of Quebec. Enjoy it.
Defense system of Quebec City, being part of the rich military past of Quebec. Here are the Saint Jean Gate, also known as Saint John Gates. Because of Quebec is only city north of Mexico to have preserved the fortification, which led him to be on the list of UNESCO World Heritage Site. The first St. John Gate dates back to at least 1694. They were built during the French regime. Because of its poor condition, in 1791, the gates were demolished and rebuilt. These gates are lasted until 1865, when it was demolished and rebuilt again. The present gate was built in 1939 and is intact ever since. During the British regime, other fortifications were built. The fortifications were used to block the access to the city from all sides. Guarded by soldiers, the doors were closed at night. This isolating the upper town of Quebec from the surrounding area.
Alright everyone, this concludes our tour. I hope you had a great time. We hope to see you next time. Bohemian, colorful, you've seen Quartier Saint-Jean at its finest. Have a nice day!
Thank you.
Guys, I'm just a brother of Mayor Labonne, and I just met a couple of beautiful ladies. They were visiting, they got around, and I have to tell you, Mrs. Professor, that they did the best job, and I love them. See you guys.